Keep quiet and act. Everything will come naturally. You don't have to prove anything
with any AI when you really focus on yourself.
Eliminate all noise and work steadily in silence.
Life began to change in ways you never imagined.
Have you ever wondered what will happen if you stop talking about your goals
and instead
just focus on being human, can complete them?
What would be different if you no longer share every step
that started to make real changes
in silence? Very few people understand one simple truth. The less you talk and the more you do,
your life will move forward faster.
In this video, we will explore together what really happens when you choose to focus on yourself,
keep quiet,
and stop seeking validation from others. You will understand why silence is such a powerful tool. Why does peace lead to clarity? And why the best results
created again when nowhere is visible.
If you are ready, grow up in silence to win in real life.
Come with me.
First thing,
eliminate distractions
and focus on the journey. Personal development. When you do, that things start to change. No noise, no drama.
But gently, as steady as the water silently eroding the stone.
Drop by drop. You start waking up every morning with choices that come from the real thing, meaningful to oneself.
You realize what is holding you back.
What is taking up time and draining energy? What took away peace just to get fame? And you start being honest with yourself.
Every real change starts there. Not from a plan or goal,
but from the truth.
A truth you can no longer ignore. Most people are immature, not because they don't want to, but because they are too busy with meaningless things. The phone is always ringing.
Screen is always on. The story never ends.
And the comparisons are endless. It's also easy for AI to say they want change,
want to develop.
But if the mind is always scattered,
then that development goes nowhere. You can't build anything strong
on a troubled mind.
Distracted people can work very hard,
but they just rotate in place. They confuse movement with progress. But 0-point movement means you are moving forward. And the truth is,
if you don't master your own focus,
someone else will do it for you.
You need to learn to say no with things that don't help me grow. You need to remove noise,
not because it is selfish, but because it is necessary. Development is not just adding new things, but also to remove the old. Let go of what drains you.
Walk away from people who don't support you. Give up habits that weaken you.
Meaningless repeating days.
And the environment pulls you back to the old you. You need to be clear, need to be sharp.
For whatever you accept, then it will grow in your life.
If you accept distraction, you will always be left behind. If you accept mediocrity,
you will always get less than you can achieve.
Okay. The problem is never that you don't have potential. The problem is you don't have focus.
We are used to being always connected,
always reply,
always present. But personal growth does not happen
when you are ready for everyone. It only happens when you start being ready for yourself.
You don't have to listen to everyone's opinion.
No need to explain, tell AI what you are doing. What you really need is more time
to act, and less time to talk.
You need to build a world where your priorities come first,
where time is valuable, and the mind has room to breathe, to think clearly.
That is the real foundation of development.
Distraction is a subtle trap.
It is not obviously dangerous, but disguised with a sense of normalcy. Just a few minutes of surfing the phone.
One more short chat, one more episode.
But little by little, you are training your brain to be discreet. And a scattered mind cannot concentrate.
Unfinished and grown.
If you really want to grow, you must train yourself to have a focused mind.
No discipline and no silence.
The problem is not that you need more hours in a day, but you need to reduce the things that distract you.
During that very period of time. Distraction is also emotional. There are people who keep themselves busy,
Just to avoid facing,
with my true thoughts. They choose to live in distraction.
because silence feels uncomfortable. But the truth is, true maturity comes only in silence. In that moment of silence, you really face yourself.
You start to hear your inner voice again.
Realize what you missed.
And when no longer distracted, you realize what you've been ignoring. The pain hasn't healed. Abandoned goal.
The life you promised you would live but have been putting off.
That clarity doesn't come when you're busy, but only appear when you are brave enough to stop. When you remove the stars, you create space.
And that space is valuable.
It gives you control, freedom and ability to make better decisions. When no longer pulled in all directions, only then can you truly choose the right path for yourself.
You start building meaningful habits.
Take time to learn.
Complete development.
You start to hear your true thoughts.
No longer overwhelmed by ambient noise.
You recognize your behavior and discover weaknesses.
Take responsibility for your choices.
And that very awareness, that focus is where real growth begins.
There will be people who do not understand your silence. They will think you changed. They will wonder why you disappeared.
Why don't you reply or chat like before?
But that's okay.
You are under no obligation, have to explain their maturity.
For those who don't understand the path you are on.
You also don't have to make your journey become pleasant in the eyes of others. When you choose to develop,
Not everyone will clap for you.
it's part of the process.
And you need to learn to accept that.
You have to get used to being misunderstood. Must stop looking for permission to grow.
By the moment you need approval is when you have given your power to others.
Maturity is not flashy, not noisy.
It doesn't sparkle on social media.
It is the early mornings and quiet late nights. Are the shakes of the head in refusal, when everyone nodded. Is that you disappear?
Away from the places that used to distract you. Is the hard work that no one sees.
But it is there that your strength is forged.
It is in silence that you find clarity. In solitude.
You find your true power.
When you start focusing completely on yourself.
You suddenly realize how much time you have wasted. To try to please people doesn't even matter. You realize how much energy you have spent. Let go of things that don't move you forward. You realize how much peace you have given up.
Just to stay connected with people.
Don't value your time. It's the truth that hurts. But it is also the truth that sets you free. Because once seen clearly, you can't pretend you never knew.
From that moment you start making different choices. You stop explaining, stop running, follow, stop proving. You start to rebuild focus. And that's when everything changed.
When you stop letting the world pull you in all directions, you can pick up the pieces yourself.
You can start fixing what was broken. You can relearn lessons never taught. You start moving forward without permission.
No need for clapping, guys.
Your mind becomes sharper. Your standard of living is raised.
And your habits become solid.
You stop living by habit. Start living by your own design.
And the best part is you start seeing results.
No noise, no show off. Real results. Deeply touches inside and changes you from the roots.
People often ask,
how to stay motivated?
The answer is, you don't need to stay motivated, you need to stay focused.
Motivation comes and goes, but focus stays.
Concentration will appear even when you are tired.
It doesn't need inspiration, doesn't wait for mood. It is an option,
a commitment, a decision you make every day.
even though it's boring, even though it's difficult, even though no one sees it.
Maturity, not created by fleeting inspiration, but by silent perseverance, step by step with discipline and focus.
If you really want to change your life, don't wait for motivation.
Eliminate distractions. Build schedule. Stick with it. Learn to say no more and protect your time.
Use it wisely. Read more, learn more, think more. Write out your goals.
Review habits, stay consistent, measure progress.
Remember what is important.
Less talk, more do. That is the formula.
Not easy, but clear.
Unpretentious, but powerful.
The truth is, everything you seek begins with you.
Not from someone else, not from a new tool.
Not from more information, but from you.
When you focus on yourself and keep the mind calm,
You stop wasting time.
stop seeking approval,
Stop explaining step by step. You start taking action, start growing.
start building.
And that's when everything started to fall into place. Not because you force it, not because you fake it, but because of your actions in the end.
Aligned with your values.
Because you were truly present for yourself. That maturity is silent. It doesn't need attention. No need for confirmation, no need for applause. It just quietly continues.
Because once you eliminate distractions and focus on personal development, you will realize that everything you have been looking for
Is always inside.
You just need silence to listen.
Need space to feel. It takes focus to start building. So if you are really ready to grow up,
Do this.
turn off the noise. Keep your mind calm. And show up for yourself every day.
That's when things started to change. That's when you really live life
That you were born to build.
If you find these words meaningful, please like for more motivation and subscribe to the channel, so as not to miss any step on the journey.
Reach for the best version of yourself. Number 2, stop looking for validation.
And learn to trust your own journey. Many people are stuck and can't move forward because they keep looking back, waiting for someone to clap in agreement or let them continue.
But the truth is, if you live your whole life just to be accepted by others, you will never be the master of your life.
You will always doubt yourself,
Always feel the need to prove something. And that is the most sophisticated trap,
because you cannot grow up.
when your worth depends on your reaction of others. You cannot evolve either, if still trying to fit into a world
That you no longer belong to. At some point,
you need to stop explaining all your choices.
need to stop asking if they like it,
Do they understand?
because not all AI needs to understand you.
And not all AI has a mission with you. Some people only know your old version, and they are not ready to embrace the new person you are becoming. And that's okay. This journey is not a group project.
You don't need a voting board for every step.
What you need is courage and commitment, and a clarity about who you want to be. The moment you stop running according to acceptance, external,
It's time for you to take back control. My life.
you start taking action for the right reasons,
Not because that AI told you to do it.
not to impress, but because it really means something to you. Then maturity becomes real.
No longer just a show. No longer a desire for recognition.
But the harmony between action and inner values. You live your life true to yourself even if no one understands. Even though no one clapped.
When you trust your own journey, you no longer wait for signals from the outside.
You start building strong inner strength from within. The problem is that most of us were never taught.
Have to believe in yourself. From a young age, we are told to obey.
Must follow the model, must live according to the times. And if you step out of that,
People will start doubting you, labeling you, trying to pull you back into their familiar comfort zone.
But you're live, not born to lie still, in someone else's comfort zone.
You are not here to be understood.
You are here to grow.
Become the version of you that you were born to be.
And that road has no ready applause.
It requires you to take risks.
Accept to go alone. Accept to keep yourself. In the moments when it's easiest to get caught up in the crowd.
Feeling recognized always makes us feel safe. But that is just a false sense of security.
It forces us to run with the ever-changing things. Today they love you, tomorrow they turn their backs on you. Today they support you, tomorrow they judge you.
You can't build confidence
On such a shaky foundation.
You can't find your true purpose in life either.
If the mind is dependent on the eyes of others.
The only way to become strong
Is to root your life in something.
deeper than praise or criticism. Something that doesn't waver when that air leaves you. Don't break down when you are criticized.
And you can only build that foundation by learning to believe in yourself. It doesn't happen in a day.
It requires honesty,
Tranquility and a steadfast spirit. Even without air watching you try. When you are no longer alive to seek recognition, you will lose some people.
That is the price of maturity. People who are comfortable with the old version of you, with old limit, old habits, old ways of thinking,
Will no longer feel right when you change.
but that doesn't mean you're wrong.
It just means you are getting stronger.
You don't need people who just support you, help when you are small.
When you are shy,
You need people who respect your vision.
even if they can't fully understand it yet.
But most importantly,
You need respect from yourself. You need to be able to look in the mirror and say, I am proud of the journey I have been through. Even though no one else admits it.
it's easy to get caught up in other people's thinking,
Especially when it's family.
friends or people you care about.
But the truth is, sometimes it's the people closest to you.
Are the first to doubt you. Not because they don't love you,
But because they don't see what you're getting at.
they only know you of the past. They don't see you in the future.
And that's okay too. You are not here to convince them. You are here to live your life to the fullest.
When you stay consistent,
When the results start to show,
they will gradually understand, but don't wait for that moment.
just starting to believe in myself.
Start now, build today.
Take action now.
You don't need people to understand, then the path you take is valuable.
The moment you stop trying to explain,
It is also the time when you release energy to really live that path.
explaining makes you tired.
Defending your choices exhausts you.
And the truth is, most people do not listen to understand.
They listen to judge. So stop trying to please them. Please yourself. Be firm in your values. Be clear with your goals. Be serious about your discipline. That is the foundation of a life worth living.
That's where real change begins. Not from recognition, but from commitment.
The desire for recognition often stems from fear. Fear of isolation, fear of judgment, fear of mistakes.
But if you want to build something
Really meaningful.
you have to face that fear. You have to accept the feeling. Be the only person in the room.
Believe in your vision.
You have to accept to leave those who cannot accompany. For keeping yourself around unsupportive people
Your maturity.
is the fastest way.
To lose it. You don't have to be rude, no need to argue.
Just stop explaining and keep building.
When you start trusting your inner voice,
Something changes.
you no longer need to speak loudly.
No need to expose everything. No need to prove anything to AI. You become quiet but powerful. Calm but uncheckable.
You don't panic when things take time.
Don't succumb to pressure.
You keep your eyes on your own path. Keep your energy focused on your habits. Measuring growth by your own progress, not with applause or criticism. And that is true freedom. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be understood, but don't let that need rule your life.
Don't let it slow you down. You were not born to impress others. You were born to be perfect. You were born to evolve.
And evolution,
Always accompanied by a feeling of discomfort. It forces you to go beyond old limits.
force you to give up superficial compliments,
Forcing you to turn inside and ask really hard questions. You are doing this because it really means something to you.
or just because that AI told you to do so,
You are choosing based on the future you want.
or based on fears you have not overcome. It is this honesty that sets you free. People will talk and judge, will give rise to all sorts of inferences,
But that's none of your business. Your job is to stay focused.
is showing up every day for your goals, is to protect your peace and preserve that precious time. You don't need to respond to every comment.
No need to react to every point of view.
When you really focus, all the noise is just background. It can't shake you, cannot make you go astray.
It's just something you go through. Without losing yourself. You have to stop living your life as if it were your own. It's for others to judge. You have to stop being so closed off just to make others feel comfortable. You have to stop explaining your decisions, brought forth to protect your own development.
You don't owe AI a more acceptable version.
Just to fit into their comfort zone. Your life is your responsibility. And that is not a burden. That is power.
Because when you stop waiting for permission,
You start to master. You start creating motivation. You start,
unlock inner strength that has never been realized before.
and the world began to change. Not because people finally acknowledge you.
But because you finally accepted yourself. Someone will leave when you stop looking for their approval. That's how you realize AI truly respects you.
There will be more criticism.
When you stop asking their opinion. That's how you see it. AI is feeling threatened by your maturity. But the right ones will stay. They will support you.
Not because you beg, but because they see the seriousness in your eyes. They feel the commitment, feel the focus.
You don't need to convince them. Your actions will speak for you. And the truth is,
Once you build trust with yourself,
you no longer crave recognition as much as you used to. You don't need AI to see your value.
you have seen it.
You don't need AI to believe in your idea.
You already believe.
You don't need constant feedback.
To know that you are on the right track.
You feel it.
And that is it. Is the power that makes you unshakable.
It is the focus that makes something real, sustainable, and full of effort.
So if you are tired of running according to approval, please stop. Stand still.
Look at where you are. Ask yourself what you really want.
Ask yourself what habits you need to build.
Ask yourself what life you are willing to fight for.
Then start. No need to explain, no need to apologize. No need to wait for the perfect moment.
Your life is not a show.
Not a project for others to judge.
It's a journey just for you. To let you walk with courage, with clarity, and with conviction. When you stop seeking approval,
And start believing in your own journey.
you become unstoppable. Not because life is easier, but because you are stronger.
You are no longer running as you start building. You stop acting, you start living.
You no longer hesitate, you start acting.
And that's when things started to fall into place. Not because that AI said it was time.
But because you believe that.
Right now. Thing 3. Commit to self-discipline.
And you will see your life change.
Most people think that success comes from talent.
Timing or luck.
But the truth is,
only start when you are serious about discipline. That's when things started to change. That's when you stop living by inertia. That's when you stop wasting every day aimlessly. The truth is your life will not change
until you change yourself. Not only in thought, but also in habit. In the way you keep your word to yourself, when no one sees. In the way you push yourself no matter how comfortable.
Is the easy thing to do. Discipline is not punishment,
which is the highest expression of self-respect.
It is proof that you take your goals seriously, more than an excuse.
Every time you say you will start tomorrow and then don't, you lose some faith in yourself. You erode confidence. Not because you failed,
but because you did not keep your promise to yourself. Discipline is the journey of rebuilding the trust.
Is that you still do what needs to be done,
especially when it's hard. Especially when you are not in the mood.
The moment you stop waiting for inspiration to start, and instead act on discipline,
you become dangerous in a positive way. You become
reliable.
You become a person who can handle pressure. Because discipline doesn't ask how you feel.
It just asks, does this need to be done? You cannot expect a stable life
when your daily habits are weak.
If your schedule is filled with distractions and shortcuts,
the results you get will reflect that.
Many people expect big results with little effort.
They want to grow without paying the price. But life doesn't work like that. You cannot build a healthy body if you keep skipping practice.
You cannot train your nerves
if you keep choosing the easy thing.
You cannot achieve financial freedom if you keep spending on things that don't bring value.
Everything has a price,
and discipline is the price for freedom.
It is the sacrifice of the present, so that your future self does not have to suffer.
Silence is power.
And when you learn how to use it, your peace will be unyielding.
You cannot control everything around you,
but you can control what you allow into your life.
What you listen to, what you respond to, what you put energy into it.
That's how you protect your peace.
That's how you stay focused on your goals.
Because every time you participate in something below one's purpose, you are stepping out of your own way.
And sometimes the greatest discipline is silence. Sometimes the most powerful action is no response. Not because you are weak, but because you have overcome the need to be seen.
Heard by everyone.
Have a kind of peace. Until you stop explaining yourself.
When you stop needing others to understand your decisions. When you stop running by consent.
And start honoring your values.
That is the kind of peace you will protect.
With everything I have. Not everyone will understand your silence. Not everyone will like your boundaries.
But peace.
Not to be liked by everyone. It was created to give you room to grow. Think and live true to your own truth.
Too many people
trade your peace for acceptance. They say yes when they mean no.
They keep in touch with people who bring them stress instead of support. They are in noisy environments
with pressure and criticism.
And over time they forget what quiet feels like.
Don't do that to yourself. Don't betray your mental health just to be liked.
Don't stay where it takes away your sanity. Your peace is worth more than validation. It is more important than being accepted. And it is much rarer than people think. Peace is not escape. Not run away.
Peaceful
is knowing how to choose your energy wisely. Is understanding the difference between what challenges you and the things that drain you.
Is to realize that not every battle is worth fighting. Not every comment deserves a response. Not any voice
also need to be heard in your life.
Protect your peace doesn't mean you're passive. It means you are strong enough
to control what affects you.
It means you are mature enough to from Get rid of things that don't fit your future.
Think about how much time you have wasted. Worry about unimportant things.
Think about the energy you have wasted.
Into the controversy.
Going nowhere. Think about the days you carry stress.
From other people's opinions. Is it worth it? Does it create anything? Does it help you move forward? If the answer is no, it's time for a change. It's time to create space to think. Space to clarify.
Space
to become the person you are trying to build. And that space can only exist
when you eliminate noise. Start being conscious of your time.
With your thoughts. With your surroundings.
Protect your morning, preserve your evening. Control what you allow into your mind.
Be fierce in protecting your peace. Not because you are selfish,
but because you finally realize the price to pay
when living without it. Peace gives you strength. It brings focus. It gives calm confidence. So you can move through life
without being shaken by everything that happens around.
The world praises noise. It glorifies speed, it glorifies distraction. But that doesn't mean you have to get involved.
You can choose silence. You can choose your focus.
You can choose a life that feels right.
Not just a life that looks right. And when you do, everything changes. Your decisions become clearer. Your emotions become more stable.
Your goals become sharper.
That's exactly what happened.
When you protect your peace.
You stop reacting and start creating. You stop surviving and start leading. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a statement. It says you are not there for the little things. It says you are not affected by chaos.
It says your attention is precious. And only for the worthy. There is power in being calm.
In keeping the center. In not being harassed
by the things that used to control you.
That kind of power can't be faked. It is built through determination, through discipline.
By choosing peace over and over again.
Even when the noise tries to pull you back.
You don't have to get involved in every argument
that people invite you.
You don't have to respond to every criticism. You don't have to defend your every move.
What you need to do is be true to your values. Protect your energy.
Keep your peace.
No matter how noisy the world is.
Because when you lose that peace, you lose your power.
And when you lose your power, you start living on other people's terms. You start reacting to life instead of designing it. Ask yourself what
bring peace to your life.
And do more. Ask yourself what creates chaos and do less of it. This is simple but not easy.
Because this world is built to distract you. But your job is to stay focused. Choose calm over chaos. Attention instead of noise. Progress instead of popularity. The more you do this, the more you notice the difference in mood.
In the relationships, in the results you achieve.
Peace always brings results. You don't owe AI access if they don't respect your peace. You do not owe time for those who make you feel small.
You owe no explanation with people who refuse to understand you. What you owe is a commitment to yourself. Promise to protect
the space where your future is being built. And that space must be quiet. It must be clean. Must be protected. Because that's where your focus lives. That is where your purpose develops.
That's where your best self is being formed.
People will try to break your concentration.
Life will throw distractions at you.
But if your peace is steadfast, then nothing can shake you. You will keep your spirit, you will be steadfast. You will persevere.
That is real power. No noise, no aggression, just calm.
Just focus, just stay steadfast in purpose.
And when you operate from that space, you will make better decisions. You will handle stress calmly.
You become the person others trust.
Not because you talk much, but because you don't let anything shake you. Don't be afraid of silence. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to withdraw from things. Does not help you grow.
It is the silence you create. It is in that silence that breakthroughs come.
That's where you find your next move.
Next goal, next level. And nothing in it happens in the noise. Nothing in it happens in chaos.
It happens in peace. That is the real foundation of success.
A calm mind, a steady spirit. A life that is not pulled in all directions. You saw what chaos did.
You have lived through stress. Have you ever been in the middle of noise?
Now is the time to make a different choice. Now is the time to build your peace like a fortress.
Not to keep others out,
but to keep your strength within. To keep your mind sharp. To keep your days fit.
to protect your goals.
Because when you protect the peace, you protect your progress. And when you do that, everything else will fall into place.
Get started today. Look at your life.
What is robbing you of your peace? AI is exhausting you.
What habits are filling your mind with noise?
Identify them.
Remove them. Replace them with intention, with discipline, with silence. And see what happens. Watch your focus return.
How fast?
Watch your days get lighter ISAO. See how strong you become.
When your mind is quiet and your vision is clear. It is the result of protecting your peace.
And that is the life you deserve. Fifth thing. Work consistently and let the results speak for themselves. The key to success has never changed. The formula is very simple.
Work regularly. The world around may try to distract you with shortcuts,
Quick fixes and flashy promises.
but all that,
Neither leads to sustainable success. The real path to achievement
is through effort, persistent focus over time. And this is where most people go wrong. They expect immediate results. They want to be recognized before the process is complete.
But if you want real results,
The results speak for themselves.
you have to show up every day no matter what. That's where the real magic happens. The unsung work.
Behind the scenes,
Let's be clear. There is no substitute for work. No encouragement, inspiration, or what talent can replace this effort.
you can read all books, watch all videos. But there is no substitute for effort. Appear every day. Do the work and persevere through the tough days. You must be willing to put in the time, sweat, and sacrifice.
This is what separates successful people and those who only dream of success. Commitment continues even when no one sees it, even though the results are not immediate. This is what builds character.
It is the foundation for long-term success. We live in a world.
Always crave instant gratification.
People want to see results now.
They want to feel satisfied with progress. Yours immediately. But success does not come overnight.
It is a gradual process. It is the accumulation of small actions. Repeated every day makes real change.
Easily discouraged.
Be patient when you don't see results right away.
Easily doubt your progress.
When you work hard.
But nothing happened.
But I can tell you this. Results will come.
They are on their way.
But they will come at the rate of the effort you put in.
The steady and persistent effort that you put into something.
Always deliver the results you want over time.
People often talk about culture,
Tiger as a badge of honor.
but let's be honest.
Work without purpose is just noise. It is a meaningless move.
It is tiring and unsustainable.
True success does not come from being busy. Just because you want to be busy. It comes from purposeful work and focus to help you move towards your goals.
That's what makes the difference.
And if you always do that,
Even though sometimes it feels like I'm getting nowhere, you are on the right track. Results are taking shape. It's just not clear right now.
But if you keep persevering,
If you continue to work with focus and purpose,
the final results will speak for themselves.
one of the most powerful things you can do
Is to listen to yourself and ignore the noise around. The world will tell you that.
you need to do something different.
It will tell you to work harder and smarter. It will advise you to look for the latest techniques,
Hot trends. But the truth is the basics still work.
The basics still work. If you commit, do work, help you get closer to your goals every day.
It doesn't matter what other people are doing.
The results will speak for themselves.
When you work consistently every day,
Your progress will become undeniable.
the work you do will always show, and when it shows,
You don't need to tell AI what you did. They will see for themselves. It will be clear.
your results are your own testimony.
You don't have to brag.
Boast or explain about one's success.
The results will be big enough for people to take notice.
But the problem is,
Not all AI is ready to do that job. People want rewards.
but not all AI is willing to endure it, the challenges, to achieve them.
They want a quick win. Want easy solution, want shortcut. But the reality is that success is a long-term game. And if you only focus on short-term things, you will miss out on profound rewards. Comes from perseverance, with something long enough to see real results. The rewards that come from building something lasting.
The reward comes from knowing that you made it yourself. Award come from results that others cannot ignore.
Don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with taking a break and give yourself time to recharge.
You can't work non-stop day and night without being exhausted. And you shouldn't expect to work non-stop without rest.
But what I say here is the kind of perseverance that never wavers. It's showing up every day even though you feel tired. Work even when you are not motivated,
Dedicate effort.
even if no one claps for you. And it is this persistence,
Dedication to work.
although the results are not immediate, is the key to sustainable success.
The truth is there will always be someone faster than you, smarter than you, or more talented than you.
But what they can't do is get over you. What they can't do is show up every day and keep working.
No matter what the obstacles,
If you form the habit of perseverance, daily work commitment,
you will surpass them in the long run.
because results don't just come from the effort you put in today.
It comes from the effort you put in every day.
And if you always show up with persistence,
You are building something.
will gradually overcome all challenges.
So why is persistence so important?
Because persistence is a form of accumulation. It's like investing. Small contributions, regularity will gradually add up over time.
And before you realize it, you have built something significant.
Small steps but persistent.
Creates motivation to help you move forward over time.
You will start to see the cumulative effect from your actions.
You look back and realize how much you have improved. Achieved what grew up like. It's all about hard work and consistency.
And think about the times when you felt as if nothing happened. You were trying, but there is no recognition.
No rewards, no immediate results. Times like these can be discouraging.
They can make you suspicious. Is it worth continuing?
But the important thing is, you can't measure your progress
Just based on what you see today.
You have to trust the process. Believe that every small effort, every action, no matter how small, I gradually
Bring you closer to your goals. Although results may not appear immediately,
you are still making progress. You are still building the foundation for success. And one day, when the final results appear,
you will realize they are worth it. with every moment of effort you put in.
Key to success. Not to do something for a short time, then give up when you don't see results quickly.
The key is persistence.
Is to continue working, even if the reward, immediately invisible. Is to believe that
All your efforts are never in vain. Every minute you spend on your goals are all creating momentum.
whether you see it or not,
You don't need immediate results.
to know that you are on the right track,
You just have to keep showing up every day.
with the belief that in the end, your efforts will be rewarded.
The results will speak for themselves. And when they appear, they will be undeniable.
Your commitment, discipline, and perseverance will shine through.
You will have results to prove all those efforts.
The work you do today
Is an investment for your future. It is the building blocks. It is creating the foundation for all you want to achieve.
and if you keep building little by little every day,
The final result will come. When you stay focused, when you persevere,
when you work hard,
the results do not need to be shouted from the rooftops. They will speak for themselves. So keep going, keep contributing.
keep trusting the process because the results will come.
And when they come,
They will be worth every moment.
you have given to us. Sixth thing is to appreciate loneliness and use it to sharpen your focus. In a world full of distractions, constant noise and pressure to fit in,
So easy.
to forget the great power of accepting loneliness. We are often taught that,
Success is always moving,
always around others, always communicating, and always running for new opportunities.
but reality. One of the successful people, and most concentrated in the world, know the secret of loneliness.
They understand that there is power in silence,
In being alone with one's thoughts,
and in sharpening.
concentration, without interference from the outside world.
Loneliness is not the feeling of being alone or isolated.
It is not about separating yourself from the world. It is about taking the time,
And space for yourself to reflect, to think clearly, and to reconnect.
with your own inner voice. In loneliness, you find clarity you otherwise would not have had, when always distracted by other people's opinions.
By noise from outside, and by the constant demands of life.
In solitude, you can listen to your thoughts, get to the bottom of what matters most, and make decisions based on your desires,
Truly yours, instead of expectations from others. Cherish loneliness.
is one of the most powerful tools. You can use it to sharpen your focus.
When you are alone without distractions from social media, other people's opinions, or constant notifications,
Your mind has space to process and focus on what really matters.
you can dig deeper into the target, my dreams and plans,
Without noise from the outside world.
clouding judgment.
The power of loneliness.
Lies in its ability to help you reconnect with yourself.
It gives you time,
And space to reflect on values.
your goals and priorities. When you are always with someone,
And their ideas. It's easy to forget something really important to yourself. But when you take time to be alone,
you can ask difficult questions, which is often buried in the noise, the hustle and bustle of everyday life.
what I really want,
What am I willing to do to achieve it? What do I need to focus on to improve? Loneliness,
allows you to take a step back from the chaos and look at things from a different perspective. It gives an opportunity to clear the mind
processing emotions and refocusing energy.
without the pressure of having to keep up with others.
You can start listening to your own thoughts
Trust your intuition
and make decisions that are consistent with your goals.
and self-worth. When you are in the middle of a world full of noise,
And distraction, it's easy to lose your way in the opinions of others.
but when you are alone, you are your own compass.
You decide where you will go and how you will go. One of the biggest challenges in today's world is the massive amount of information and constant distractions, always trying to get our attention. Even though it is a news social network or opinions of people around, it's easy to get caught up in what that everyone else is doing and forget your own path.
Solitude provides mental space to mute the noise
And focus on what really matters.
It is in those quiet moments
You can find clarity about your goals
make clear decisions
and sharpen focus on what
will help you move forward. When you accept loneliness
you are no longer dominated
by distractions from the outside world, you control time,
your energy and focus. You can take time every day to be alone
reflect on your progress,
and make your action
fit your vision.
right in this space. You can dig deeper into your life purpose and find the clarity needed to stay on target. In loneliness, you start building a relationship deeper with yourself.
You learn to trust your intuition, make a decision based on one's own values, and accept confidence.
Silence comes from knowing who you are and what you want. This process of self-discovery,
It is important to sharpen concentration, because when you are clear about your purpose and priorities, saying no to distractions,
will become easier.
it is important to realize that loneliness
It's not about completely cutting yourself off from the world. It is about finding balance.
it is knowing when to retreat into yourself, to recharge and regain focus,
And when to communicate with others meaningfully. The key is not to let yourself get lost in isolation.
that use loneliness as a tool.
To strengthen the mind and concentration.
When you spend time alone, you begin to cultivate a sense of peace, stronger inside. You no longer depend on external validation.
And start believing in your own abilities
This sense of peace becomes the foundation
for your focus. Confidence in silence
help you eliminate distractions.
and stay on your path.
In a world that is always pulling you in different directions, it is this inner peace
Is what keeps you going.
and focus on what matters most.
The power of loneliness
Also lies in its ability to help you reset.
and energy recovery.
We often live as if we were doing everything automatically, react to everything that happens.
Without taking the time to really examine yourself.
But loneliness gives the opportunity to stop.
Reflect and reset.
It's like pressing the reset button for the mind and your energy.
In these quiet moments, you can find clarity.
Regain focus and come back stronger than before.
In loneliness,
You don't have to worry about what other people think or how others perceive you,
you can be completely yourself.
without any outside pressure or expectations. This freedom is a tremendous power because it allows you to be absolutely honest with yourself.
You can look at the target, act, and its progress without any filtering. This level of self-awareness is essential to sharpen concentration.
Because it helps you realize what is working and what needs to change. One of the greatest benefits of solitude
Is that it helps you build the necessary mental discipline
to stay on target. In a world full of distractions,
really need strong discipline.
to maintain his path. But when you accept loneliness, you increase your ability.
Keep focus on what really matters.
You will be less dependent on external validation and easier to connect.
With inner motivation,
These 9 mental disciplines help you stay on track no matter how difficult it gets and keep moving forward.
with the set goals. Journey of accepting loneliness.
Is a powerful journey. It is not always easy,
Especially when you are used to being always connected. or always have people around.
But when you decide to accept loneliness, you will control your life.
And my concentration. You will gain clarity, peace, and strength. You develop the necessary mental discipline
To stay on target
and inner peace.
comes from knowing you are on the right path.
Loneliness is not something to be afraid of. That is something that must be accepted.
It is the key to unlocking your potential. Sharpen concentration and create the life you desire. Take time to accept loneliness. Use it as a tool for reflection. Restore energy and regain focus. Let it strengthen your mind and spirit.
And watch your life change in ways you never imagined. Thing 7.
Eliminate excuses and move forward without validation. At some point,
You need to face yourself. Not the version you show to the outside world. Not filtered version for reasons.
doubt or distraction.
But you,
Someone you know exactly what needs to be done.
even if you pretend otherwise. Progress does not come from wishing.
It doesn't come from telling yourself you'll do it later. It comes from the moment you decide to stop making excuses. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need AI to pat you on the back when you take a small step forward.
What you need is the decision to stop running away
From what you know you need to do.
for the reason that is always ready to appear. They always sound reasonable. You always have an excuse to procrastinate.
But every time you choose a reason,
You trade progress for comfort.
and nothing meaningful comes from comfort. The reason is very easy.
They are familiar. They do not require risk or disciplined effort.
You can blame it on past circumstances, lack of support, or low energy. You can criticize everything around you. But none of that.
Change your life.
The only thing that keeps you going is action. The only thing that builds confidence.
Is to do what you promised. Even when no air is visible. Maybe you are waiting for motivation.
You may be hoping for the perfect moment, when you feel ready. But motivation comes after action, not before. If you wait until you feel ready, you will wait forever.
Winners in life action. Without having to feel ready.
They marched without applause. They execute the plan witut AI noticing. They don't seek permission, they give themselves permission. You have the right to move forward now. Just as you are not when everything is perfect.
Not when you have extra time.
Not when people believe in you.
Right now.
With the energy you have, with the resources you have.
With the challenge you are facing.
You don't have to be in the right mood.
You need to commit. Because commitment will help you get things done. When emotions are absent.
No one will come and give you your dream. No one will pursue it for you. No AI will care about your goals. As you should care.
And that is the truth.
The sooner you accept this, the faster you.
Start believing in your own motivation.
People around you,
Not responsible for your development. You decide. If you keep waiting for recognition.
you will live this life.
Just to prove myself to people. That they don't even know what you really want.
Recognition is a dangerous trap. It gives you a false sense of success. Every time you seek consensus before progressing, you are giving your power to others.
You let others decide. Are you good enough to continue?
But if they never acknowledge you, if they never notice your efforts,
Will you stop or will you learn to move on? Even without AI to perceive. Progress without recognition is real power. It means
you no longer have to perform for others.
It means is you act according to your own standards. It means you keep going even without praise.
No likes, no claps. You move forward because you decided to. Because your promise is worth it. Because your life is too precious
to wait for the permission of others.
There is a moment in everyone's life
When they realize that,
there is no reason to stop anymore. That moment felt like a crystal clear truth. It's like waking up after years of confusion. And from that moment,
you start building. You stop blaming. You are solely responsible for every decision,
every habit,
every delay.
you stop saying I can't and start saying I have to. You stop pretending there is time to waste.
And start acting as if every moment counts.
When you commit to progress,
The work will not be easier, but you will become stronger. You start creating your own momentum.
you learn from your failures instead of avoiding them. You stop waiting for inspiration and start inspiring yourself. Through consistent effort. Results may be slow to come.
But they will come, and they will bring pride,
Confidence and a quiet sense of knowing that you have built something. Really from the inside out. The reason is thieves steal time.
They steal confidence.
They steal opportunities. But when you remove them,
You will get everything you lack.
you get clarity
You get control. You get the power,
to stand on one's own feet.
and that power will multiply.
It grows every day as you choose to act. Instead of comfort. Commit instead of procrastinate.
Self-esteem instead of seeking validation.
You don't need to explain your journey. With AI too. You don't need people to understand. You just look in the mirror.
And know you are doing what needs to be done.
Not to attract attention.
Not for compliments, but because it really means something to you.
That is your true source of power. From working silently. Steadfast and permissionless.
Your life will not change through words. It changes through reinforced decisions.
By determined action. You don't become disciplined just by watching other people. You become disciplined when you show up for yourself. Even when it is inconvenient.
You don't gain self-esteem by making excuses.
You get it by keeping your promises to yourself. You don't find freedom and recognition outside. You find it in self-reliance. Everyone has created something great. It all starts with a decision. A decision to stop. Let the excuses define you. A decision to stop waiting for that AI to trust you. A decision to move forward even when alone.
Even when times are tough. Even when no AI sees.
And you can make that decision today. Decide that you are enough. With explaining why he was stuck. Decide that you are no longer waiting to feel ready. Decide that you can afford to start now.
And then act. Not just 1x0 when you feel good,
But every day with discipline, with focus.
with firm belief.
That your progress is your responsibility.
Don't look for signs. Don't wait for permission.
Don't run after recognition.
Let's get started.
Show up for yourself with all your effort.
Build self-confidence through action.
Set higher standards for yourself. Be honest when you fall short and make amends.
Always be hungry to improve, not to impress. Focus on your growth, not on other people's opinions.
Stay on your path. Not distracted by surrounding noises.
The truth is, no one cares more about your progress than you do.
And no AI needs to do that. Because you are capable of bringing this mission to fruition. You are strong enough to progress without applause. You are strong enough to eliminate excuses and replace them with progress. You are capable of doing difficult things, especially when there is no AI to see. This life will only change when you decide that.
All excuses are gone.
When you stop explaining and start doing. When you stop looking around.
And start looking inside.
When you stop waiting and start being.
The progress you want doesn't elude you.
It's just on the other side of every excuse that you once believed.
Now is the time to act.
Not later, not tomorrow, but now. You have waited long enough.
You have explained your situation long enough.
You have tried to convince others long enough. It's time to do the only thing.
Really make a difference.
Take full responsibility for your life. Move forward without consent. Eliminate all excuses. Work to get results.
Article 8.
Focus on improving yourself every day. And ignore the surrounding disturbances.
If you really want to change your life, you need to start paying attention more to what you are doing every day.
Not sometimes.
Not just when things feel right, but every day. Growth doesn't wait for the perfect moment.
It starts when you decide. Improve yourself regardless of everything around you.
Chaos will never go away. The distractions will never stop.
There will always be noise in this world. But you don't have to follow it. You don't have to let it control you.
Most people get caught up in things not serving them.
They spend hours trying to understand
what others are doing.
They worry about things they can't control. They react to everything they read, every headline. Respond to every post, follow every scandal. But that doesn't bring clarity. It doesn't build anything real.
It just makes you tired.
It takes away your energy and peace.
Without giving anything back. But you are not here for that.
You are here because you want to be better. You want to live a meaningful life. You want to feel proud of who you are, that you are becoming. And the only way to do it is to keep your attention on what you can control.
The development of habits themselves. Your thoughts and reactions.
You can't stop the world from turning,
but you can build a mind
strong enough to keep calm when it spins. The outside world will always be full of noise,
controversial opinion, criticism, distraction.
Everyone always has something to say. There will always be pressure to fit in, to compete, to run with the trend.
But what they pursue may not be the right thing for you.
You have to ask yourself what is more important.
Is in a vortex,
or build something meaningful for yourself. Because you can't do both.
You can focus on your mission,
or get dragged into someone else's chaos.
You have to choose one.
Improve yourself every day.
Doesn't mean you're perfect. Doesn't mean you win every day. It means you keep the sincerity. You commit.
You always yearn to be a little better.
Maybe you can change one small habit. Maybe you work on improving your patience.
You can say no when you often say yes.
Maybe you sit quietly
and think about your direction.
No need to be dramatic. Just be real.
Small actions add up. A day of discipline may not change your life, but 100 days will change it.
One day of focus may not make you rich,
but a year of concentration
can change your future.
You don't have to make huge leaps.
Continuously, you just need to progress steadily.
And this kind of progress does not happen when your attention is distracted. It happens when your mind is attached
with their own development. Chaos will always try to distract you.
It will tempt you to waste time. It will make you believe
what you are doing is not enough.
That others have it easier. That others are winning faster.
And that's when you need to remember why you do all this.
You don't build your life
to impress that AI.
You don't improve yourself to keep up with strangers.
You do this because you know
inside you can do more. You do this because you want to see
what
it can happen when you give it your all every day. There is no magic here. Not perfect conditions.
It's not about being better than others. It's about showing up for yourself.
Even when everything is quiet.
Even if it's boring. Even when no air is visible.
It is about using your time wisely.
Purposeful. Your energy consciously.
Your thinking with discipline. Because every time you choose growth,
you are building something that is chaotic.
Cannot be taken away from you. winners in life. Not those who have never been distracted. They are people who refuse to let themselves be distracted. They recognize when they are off track and readjust. They don't wait until Monday. They don't wait for motivation. They act now, they don't argue with life. They adapt, adjust, and move forward. Not because it is easy, but because they decided that my future, more important than current comfort. You can also do it every morning when you wake up. You have the options. Complain about the noise or rise above it. You can scroll forever without stopping. Or you can build something. You can listen to critics. Or you can focus on improving yourself. You can leave the outside world. Decide your feelings. Or you can control your emotions and your path. And that is your power. In choosing focus. In deciding what is worth it. For your attention. In choosing how you react. There will always be something trying. Pull you out of your own way. But you don't have to follow it. You don't have to join every fight. You don't have to explain your every move. You just need to commit to your own development. With his vision, with his discipline. The truth is that most people don't know what they are doing. They only react, not respond. They consume, not create. They chase acceptance, not progress. But you can break that vicious cycle. You can live on purpose. You can decide that it's development, more important than all the chaos around. You can build a solid habit. You can set meaningful goals. You can build a life. Reflect your own values, not the distraction of the world. And when you do that, when you really focus on becoming a better version of yourself, things will start to change. You start to feel more stable. You start to feel less anxious. You stop comparing yourself to others. You no longer feel like you are falling behind. You become more present in every moment. You become more focused. You become more patient with yourself. And gradually, you realize that all you look for outside peace, the purpose of true confidence, is always available within you. Just pay attention to it. So don't try to manage the noise. You will never be able to fix it. The world will always be noisy, but you don't have to be. You don't have to run at its pace. You don't have to react with all the chaos around. You can slow down. You can eliminate distractions. You can turn inward. You can build yourself quietly every day, with intention and discipline. And when you do, you will no longer have to compete with anything. You will attract everything that you previously thought were out of reach. The greatest progress happens when no one sees it. When no one talks about it, when no one claps for it. It takes place in the hours you decide to show up, decide to stay focused, decide to persevere. This kind of progress builds confidence. Uncheckable. It builds character without recognition. It builds a life that feels right. It's not just about the right look. So, decide today to improve yourself. Not because that AI told you to do so. Not because it's a trend. But because it matters to you. Because you are tired of wasting time. Because you know you can do more. Because your life is your responsibility. And you are ready to take it. Work to improve your health. Work to improve your habits. Work to improve your thinking. Reading, writing. Learn, practice patience, discipline. Concentrate. Get rid of things that don't help you grow. Add things that help you progress. And don't seek permission from others. Don't wait for recognition. Work quietly every day without drama. No distractions. This is how real progress happens. Every decision, every day, every habit. Ignore the noise. Keep your eyes on the road. And build yourself into someone you are proud of. because no other air can do it for you.
Ninth thing. Mind control.
And you will find your actions are always appropriate.
Everything starts from the mind.
Before action. Before speaking. Before construction or demolition.
Anything in life.
It all starts with a thought.
That's why.
If you want to change your life, you don't start with action, you start with thought. Thinking is the blueprint. They shape your decisions, affect emotions,
And decide how you react to everything around you. If your thinking is disordered.
your actions will reflect that.
If your thinking is weak.
Inconsistent or emotional response, it will show in the way you live. But when you control your mind, when you train it to focus,
Calm and focused. You start acting purposefully.
you start living with clarity. You start to act.
Much the person you really want to be.
Too many people try to change from the outside in. They try to correct the habit.
Without addressing the root cause.
They try to work more efficiently, without correcting the way they think. But if your thoughts are full of fear,
If your inner conversation is always negative.
if you constantly doubt yourself, then your actions will always be hesitant, disorder and full of collision. You cannot overcome the quality of your thinking. The way you think will either help you or destroy you.
Your mind can be your greatest asset.
Or is the biggest obstacle.
If you don't master it.
It will be influenced by everything around you.
What you see. What you listen to, what you consume. If you are not proactive.
Your thinking will be conditioned by fear,
Comparison of other people's distractions and expectations.
that's why discipline the mind.
Is the beginning of true personal power. When you start to filter your thoughts. Carefully. When you start choosing.
What you allow into your mind,
You will start restructuring your life from the inside out. Mind control does not mean pretending.
everything is perfect.
It does not mean ignoring reality. It means you stop letting your mind fall into doubt. Whenever the going gets tough. It means you realize
When you think in limited ways,
your potential. It means is you learn to challenge your assumptions, interrupt negative patterns,
and focus your attention on things.
help you grow. It's not the things that bring you down.
It is the choice of thought that leads to power.
Not weak progress, not stagnation.
Courage is not hesitation. And this is no coincidence.
You must practice every day. You have to be aware of what you are thinking. And why do you think so? You must realize when
My thoughts are harming me. You must be willing to ask questions.
replace them and readjust them with the image of the person you want to become.
Because when your thinking is clear and steady, your actions will start going in the right direction. Have a direct connection between your inner state and your external behavior. You can't be full of self-doubt and expect. Act confidently
You cannot feed the mind
with negative thoughts all day.
and expect to feel motivated.
You cannot think in circles.
And expect action in a straight line. The way you act will always follow the way you think.
So if your actions are inconsistent, if you feel like you're always starting and stopping,
If you can't do what you say, don't just look at your schedule.
look at your thinking.
Look at the stories you are telling yourself.
Look at the thoughts. Is controlling your behavior. When you start clearing your mind,
You create space for real discipline. You stop wasting energy.
on unimportant things,
You stop doubting yourself to the point of paralysis.
you no longer need permission to act. You become more assertive. You become intentional. And your action begins. Fit your vision. You start doing what is necessary.
Not just what is easy.
You start showing up consistently.
Not just when it feels good. You stop overthinking and start taking action.
But all those, it cannot happen without effort.
Conscious.
Your mind does not repair itself. You have to work. You have to train it like you train your body. Like you build habits.
You have to work on your mental discipline. That means you protect your focus.
You manage your inner dialogue. You choose what you believe. You become the guardian of your own attention.
You stop letting things around you form
the way you think.
Most people are never taught clear thinking. They take in the noise of the world and take it as truth. They believe every doubt, they nurture every fear. They follow every thought without asking where it will lead. That is not freedom.
It is mental chaos. And when your thinking lacks discipline,
your life will become reactive. You will have difficulty maintaining concentration.
You will constantly ask yourself.
You will make decisions based on emotions, not on purpose, and over time, you will start to believe that there is something out there.
You decide how you feel and what you do. But when you accept responsibility about my thoughts,
things started to change.
You no longer wait for the feeling of motivation. You create motivation by thinking in a way that supports that. You no longer wait to feel confident.
You build confidence
by managing your inner dialogue.
You stop blaming circumstances and begin to master your reactions. You stop living by default and start living on purpose. This is how synchronization happens.
Not by hoping for perfect conditions, but by controlling what you can think.
Thinking.
Your internal environment. Because when your mind is one, your decision will be accordingly. Your concentration is sharper.
Your energy increases. You stop fighting with yourself.
You stop sabotaging your own progress. You become unified. You become strong, and this is where the transformation begins. When you stop, in trust,
your state of mind for the world around you.
When you stop letting circumstances decide
how you think and feel. When you decide that no matter what happens,
you will think with power.
Think with clarity. Think with discipline.
And from that spiritual foundation, you will act in a way that reflects your values, own standards, and vision. The truth is, you can do everything right outside and still feel like something is wrong if your inner world is not in order.
You can have the right habits, the right plans.
But if your thinking is full of contradictions, your actions will be hesitant and the results will be unstable. That's why the real work is inside.
That's why the game is really mental.
And if you win there,
everything else will start to make sense.
Every time you find yourself thinking in a way that weakens yourself,
you have a choice.
You can nurture it, or you can direct it in another direction.
You can let it rule your whole day,
or you can replace it with a thought. Helps you stay focused.
This does not make you a soulless machine,
but a responsible person. It gives you the ability to stay mentally strong.
When the world tries to shake you,
it gives you strength in moments that others fall. It gives you control over your actions, because they are no longer controlled by chaos,
but rather clarity.
You don't need to control everything in life.
That is impossible. But you need to control how you think about it. You need protection, my mental space, as if your future depends on it.
Because it really depends.
You need to take time to think, to reflect.
To adjust your thinking to your goals.
You need to eliminate what does not serve you. You need to stop accepting thoughts
pull you away from your discipline.
You need to build a mindset that fits your life.
You are trying to build.
And this can only happen moment by moment.
One decision, one thought.
You practice it, you fail, you try again. You are always aware.
You are persistent. You remind yourself that every time you choose a thought,
Help you grow.
you are strengthening your character. You are aligning yourself with your life purpose. You are creating a meaningful life because your actions are no longer random. They are guided by clarity.
So,
Make it your mission to control your thoughts.
make it a standard to think purposefully.
Make it a habit to think in ways that nurture your growth.
And let the thought guide your actions. Let it shape how you appear. Let it define how you move through life.
Because when your mind is one,
The rest of your life will follow. Your habits will fall into place. Your decision becomes simpler.
your confidence increases. Not because you have all the answers,
But because you trust your thoughts. You trust your judgment. You believe in yourself. And that is what matters. Become
someone who can maintain focus regardless of circumstances, can stay calm under pressure, can think clearly in chaos. People who do not need outside validation to act with integrity. People who do not need constant motivation to maintain discipline. Such power does not come from talent.
It comes from thinking. From mastering the space between stimulus and response.
From choosing to think with intention every day.
Article 10.
Trust the process. And keep quiet while building your future.
Most people want progress,
But have difficulty being patient. They want results.
but don't want to wait for the platform to stabilize.
They want rewards.
But don't want to be left out while they're building.
They feel insecure in silence. Worry when things are not moving fast enough.
But the real transformation never make a sound.
While in progress,
Development is quiet.
discipline is invisible.
The most powerful moments of your life
Will not come with the clapping boys or recognition. They will come when you are in the dark. Do the work that no one sees. It is there that the future is built. You don't have to make your goals public
to the world. You don't need to broadcast plans.
or explain your process. You do not need permission to improve.
All you need is a calm mind and hands.
Strong.
What you need is a love of progress, not attention.
By attention, nothing builds.
Confirmation of non-completion of work.
Only perseverance.
Discipline and patience to do that.
And all that happens in silence. They don't need praise. They don't wait for motivation. They just appear day by day.
Until something is solid.
Unshakable is created. There is a reason why most people stand still. They gave up halfway.
They lose focus when things stop being fun.
They get discouraged when progress becomes invisible. But if you trust the process, if you commit without applause,
You will pass the stage that most people give up on.
you will continue to work while the results are small. You will stay focused when the road becomes hazy. You will believe in your efforts, although the results are not yet available. That's how true power is built silently. Persevere in the absence of compliments.
Your future, shaped by what you do, when no one sees.
The hours you leave when you feel like things aren't changing.
The sacrifices you make when no one notices. Improvements you make in silence. Patience and perseverance. 9 things that shape you. Not what you say will do. Not the image you portray.
Not the story you tell others, but the small choices you repeat in silence. The self-esteem you build through discipline.
And the power you get while holding your own course.
Easily tempted to look for shortcuts. Easily tempted to race for speed. But everything that matters takes time. If you try to rush it, you will weaken the foundation. If you let hope lead you to give up too soon,
You will not grow up.
By forcing results.
You truly grow by mastering the process. You learn to love routine. You focus on improving your system. You stop obsessing about how long it takes and start committing to making things right. Because when the foundation is solid, the future will be prosperous. Don't let yourself be fooled by the illusion of success come in one night. What seemed like a sudden breakthrough? Often the result of years of quiet work. All the preparations, all the late nights. All the quiet efforts.
All gradually accumulate.
Until it became undeniable. And when that moment comes, when the final results appear,
it will be clear to everyone. But by then, you won't need to explain anything. The results will speak louder than any words. Keep quiet while you build. Because your energy is precious.
Don't waste it trying to prove anything. Use it to be creative. Use it to grow. Use it to master your craft. Have the power to keep your journey private.
There is peace when you move without attention. When you stop looking for validation,
you will get clarity.
You stop worrying about how things look.
And start focusing on how it feels.
You stop acting and start improving. Have a developed mental strength. When you trust the process. When you keep appearing without needing to be seen.
See.
When you choose discipline over distraction.
When you hold steady, while others run after quick wins.
That kind of power can't be bought. It cannot pretend. It is earned in silent hours.
In boring exercises. In the days when progress was invisible.
But the work still gets done. You don't have to share every step. You don't have to justify your speed. You don't need to explain your vision.
Protect your focus. Keep your motivation sacred.
Let others wonder what you are doing.
Let them think you're gone. Let them doubt your silence. When the time comes, your results will speak for themselves. Until then, your silence is your strength. It means you are focused. It means you are serious. It means you are not here to perform. You are here to win.
There is power in being underestimated.
When people think you can't do much, you can work without feeling pressured.
You can build without noise. You can move in peace.
And when the results come in, they will be undeniable. It's not what you say, it's what you do.
Work will speak, improvement will show. Perseverance will show up in every part of your life. You won't have to say a word.
This mindset requires humility.
It requires discipline to keep quiet when people are around. Are public with every step they take. It requires strength to keep working.
Without external motivation.
But it also builds endurance. It makes you stronger mentally.
It teaches you how to stay grounded and stable in a world
addicted to attention. That kind of inner strength is rare. When you stop needing sound, you begin to find peace.
When you let go of the need to seek validation,
you create space for growth.
This process will challenge you.
There will be days when everything seems to make no sense. There will be seasons when progress is invisible.
There will be moments.
Giving up seems easier than continuing.
But that's all part of the journey. That is what separates the people who just talk and doers.
Those who keep going even without the halo.
Even without reward. Even though no one sees. Those people are the long-term winners.
Every day of silence is a diamond. Every silent sacrifice is a step forward. Every disciplinary decision,
even if no one sees it, it creates motivation.
And over time, it all adds up, but only if you don't give up. Only if you keep your spirit up. Only if you believe that
everything you are doing today,
preparing for what is to come. You don't need to know everything.
How would it happen? You just have to stay consistent. Keep focused, keep quiet, and keep walking. Don't let impatience destroy your progress. Don't let comparison distract your focus. Don't let doubt break your discipline.
Everyone has their own path. Everyone has their own time.
Important thing is you have to be true to your own path.
That you show up every day with the same intensity. That you respect your standards, no matter what AI is looking at. That you build your future
without having to explain every step. Silence is not weakness.
It is power under control. It is confidence that does not need recognition. It is a vision that does not require approval. When you trust the process,
you will not be shaken by procrastination. You are not running after quick solutions.
You don't crack under pressure. You keep your spirits up.
You are patient, and that patience becomes your advantage.
Because when everyone else is running after the noise,
you are building a solid foundation. Let your work speak.
Let your persistence tell the story. Let your progress be the proof. Only you need.
Don't make every program public. Don't seek praise for every small victory. Just build, just grow.
Keep working, and when the time comes, all will become clear.
It's not what you say, it's what you live.
Because you have committed. Because you keep quiet.
And because you've believed in the process long enough, let it reward you.
That is the path to true success.
No noise, no rush.
Regardless of praise. Only quiet progress.
Steady patience.
One step at a time.
One day at a time. A quiet victory after every victory. Until life, you build a voice for yourself.
So don't let the noise and the rush make you lose patience and perseverance. Trust the process. Keep quiet and keep moving every day. For what you build in silence
will produce great results.
We don't need instant recognition, but focus on improving one step at a time.
Until those results speak for themselves.
If you find these messages helpful and feel ready
to start your own journey, please
share this video with people who need encouragement.
And don't forget to leave a comment sharing your thoughts.
Please subscribe to the channel Journey Success
to not miss the latest videos. Help you go further on the path of personal development.
Together we will build a solid life
from inside out.